the beginning of the 1900s, London, the capital of the British Empire, was the largest in the world. It was the main hub for industry, trade, and people. However, nearing the end of 1888, the London police was to tackle the most difficult, complex, and gruesome criminal investigation they had seen up until that point. This investigation, more specifically the story itself, became so widespread that it sent shockwaves around the planet, and it's still being talked about, even today. I'm talking, of course, about the Rampage and terror caused by Jack the Ripper. Before I begin, I would like to outline this video's progression. I will not go into detail on things that I don't consider to be important. For a more in-depth overview about the Ripper investigation, you can watch LEMMiNO's documentary about it. Each victim of the Ripper was mutilated quite badly, with multiple stab and slash wounds, deep gouges, or even having organs removed entirely. This to me is indicative of the Ripper having a deep hatred towards prostitutes. Furthermore, the killings only took place either on the weekends or during holidays, which effectively tells us that the Ripper worked full-time. Additionally, the following is debated, but the Ripper seemed to know what he was doing while disemboweling his victims. Also, some of the women were spotted before their murder being with a, quote, well-dressed man. However, that information is currently useless to us. Despite telling us indirectly why he was killing, the Ripper sent another message, in the form of letters. On September 27, 1888, the Central News Agency of London receives a letter whose envelope looks as pictured. Upon opening it, they find a rather interesting message inside. Written on both sides of the paper is a person claiming to be the Ripper, claiming responsibility for the murders. The author ends the letter off by stating that he is Jack the Ripper. However, this letter wouldn't be the only one the agency received, as only 4 days later they'd receive another one. In this one, which is pictured, the author details, although quite poorly, that he intends to get back to work again. The author also references the previous letter, which had been nicknamed the, quote, Dear Boss letter. 2 weeks later, a man named George Lusk, the president of the Whitechapel Vigilance Committee, receives a mail in the post. In it, the author states that he sent a kidney which he, quote, took from one woman, and that he had preserved it for Lusk. Indeed, there was a box sent alongside the letter, which contained a portion of a kidney preserved in wine. Later analyses revealed it to be a human kidney, but from who it came was never found out. While likely hundreds of people were suspected of being the Ripper, no one could be accused due to a lack of evidence or because it wasn't possible to do so. However, because I don't operate like that, I can safely accuse anyone I want to. And I think that the Ripper was Dr. Francis Tomblety. I began suspecting him primarily due to his misogyny and his alleged collection of uteri, which, quote, came from every class of women. Pictured on screen now is a photo of Tomblety, which was taken sometime in 1850. As you can see, Tomblety was quite an eccentric character. Tomblety began his business in Detroit and claimed to be a, quote, great physician. He patented herb-based medicinal products such as, quote, Tomblety's Pimple Destroyer and, quote, Dr. Moses' Indian Root Pills. However, Tomblety was never ever more than a quack. and was even connected to the death of one of his patients but managed to evade prosecution. Tomberty blamed his misogyny on a failed marriage to a prostitute, and during an all-male dinner party, Tomberty proudly showed off his collection of uteri from, quote, every class of woman to his guests. This is what initially made me suspect Tomberty, but then, by analyzing the letters, I came to the conclusion that the mocking tone of the letters lined up with what I imagined Tomberty would have himself talked and written occasionally. Despite my best efforts, I was unable to find any lead that would connect Tomberty to either the letters or the murders themselves, and I doubt that either DNA evidence or a writing sample of his will ever pop up. Despite this, I will continue working on this case privately. I will post any updates on my website, so you can occasionally check up on it as well. Its link, alongside with sources that I used, is in the description.